Alright, real quick, I'm going to get into some other stuff in another video. I want to do my 24 stuff after this, but I want to talk to you guys about the fallout from the TJ Housh signing. It obviously changes the way we're going to look at the draft. I'm not saying we're definitely not going to get Michael Crabtree now, but it's not very likely. It just wouldn't make a lot of sense to spend all this money on a free agent wide receiver and then go draft one with the 4th overall pick. But it's not out of the question. I wouldn't have a problem with it. But we've opened up new possibilities for us, because coming into this offseason, I knew our offense needed a spark. And I wasn't saying who that spark was. A receiver, a running back. We needed somebody or something to spark it, because last year we didn't have any spark. That was what was important to me. I didn't care how we got it. And maybe we got that spark with Housh because he's a quality player. Now, how are we going to look at the draft? Now that it doesn't look like Crabtree's going to be there, I'll say it again. There are a lot of things we can do, because we do have some things we need to concern ourselves with. You know, I've already said quarterback. I said we might consider looking at it. I don't think we will. And I don't want any quarterbacks in this class. I don't like Matthew Stafford. I don't really like Mark Sanchez. You know, and who's the third quarterback? Who's the third quarterback that everyone seems to like? Josh Freeman? I actually don't know much about him other than the fact that he's very big and has a big arm. I just don't really want to go that direction. One thing that I think everybody should prepare themselves for, that I think could happen, is offensive tackle. We have two offensive tackles that most people consider among the top 5 players in this class. Jason Smith out of Baylor and Eugene Monroe out of Virginia. Both those guys are blue chip talents from the offensive tackle position. Both those guys would come in, learn under Walter Jones for a year or two, because Walter Jones is going to retire soon. Both those guys would have the opportunity to start immediately at right tackle, because I don't know what's going to happen with Sean Locklear and Ray Willis. There's a whole mess of things that can happen there. So we could take our franchise left tackle in Smith or Monroe. I don't really want Aaron Curry. That would make no sense. We have 3 trustworthy linebackers. B.J. Raji out of Boston College, the defensive tackle. Big player, great defensive tackle. I'd love to have him. He's definitely one of the guys I would look at first. Probably the guy I want the most out of anyone. So I'm looking at B.J. Raji is now my primary target. Now that it doesn't look like it's going to be Crabtree, even though I still like Crabtree. I'm looking at B.J. Raji. Further down the list of the top picks, Malcolm Jenkins, don't want him. Brian Orakpo, no thank you. And then you get down to players like Jeremy Maclin and Chris Wells, and these guys just aren't worth taking that high. So maybe we'll trade down, because again, there are only 3 guys I see us taking now, because I don't think Crabtree is going to be an option. Jason Smith, Eugene Monroe, and B.J. Raj. If we don't take any of those 3 guys, we're probably going to have to trade down. Alright, so I just wanted to prep all you Seattle fans out there who do watch my videos. I don't know how many of you there are, but it's not going to be as flashy and fun anymore. We're probably going to take a player to play in the trenches, offensive line or defensive line. Like I just said, one of those 3 players. Or we're going to trade down, so be ready for things to not be as fun, because if you take Michael Crabtree, you have visions of this guy scoring 80-yard touchdowns and catching 100 passes a season and catching, 15 touchdowns in a year. And with a tackle, offensive tackle or defensive tackle, it's just not as fun to imagine what it would be like if that player works out. But I'm telling you, I like B.J. Raji a lot, and you won't have as much fun envisioning what he could be, but it'll mean a lot, just as much to this team. And same with Jason Smith and Eugene Monroe. So that's really all I wanted to say, just looking at the new options that have opened up. And I know some people have actually been asking me, what about a safety? Should we take a safety? I don't think there's a safety worth it in this class. Maybe we should wait for next year until Taylor Mays comes out. See ya.